Hey, Scottie the Trainer here. Welcome to Scottie the Trainer Tuesdays. Listen, it's great joy for me to be with you and share with you once again. I want to embark on something over the next few Tuesdays. I want to talk about the challenge of encountering emotions. The challenge of encountering emotions. Now, over the next few Tuesdays, I'll deal specifically with certain emotions, but I want to talk generally to kind of build a foundation upon which I want to continue to launch from and hopefully find something that's beneficial. Share with you some things that I found that's helped me. Share with you some things that I found that has not helped me. You know, a lot of times the lessons that we learn isn't always from the successes, but a lot of the lessons that stick with us is from the failures. You know, there's two ways that you can learn something. One is from other people's failures, and the second way is from your own failures. Now, if you would be honest, along with me, we would much rather learn from other people's failures. That way we never have to go through failure ourselves. However, the failures that we encounter tend to stick with us a little bit longer in life because we know what works and what doesn't work, and we were there when the damage happened. So let's talk about emotions as a whole. So I was talking to a group of leaders not too long ago, and we were talking specifically about making major decisions in your business, which then bleeds over into life. And in making decisions, a lot of times emotions can come into play, and I think we all understand that. All cards on the table. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a young person, as in a teenager, whether you're an older person into your 70s, 80s, 90s, what have you. It doesn't matter what your experience is in life, whether you're just entering into school, whether you're a high school student, or whether you are out in a job and you've been in the workforce, or whether you've been through school, workforce, military, and now you're in the golden years where you're enjoying your retirement. It doesn't matter. It also doesn't matter whether you're a man or whether you're a woman. Every person on the planet experiences emotions of some type. Emotions. Every person has emotions. Let's just face it. There are things that make us happy. There are things that make us feel up. There are things that we're excited about. There's things that make us feel sad. There's things that we cry about. There's things that when we think about it, we get that heartache, that heaviness in your heart where you just think, oh no. There's those things that make you feel melancholy, where you've done so much or you faced so much, you just are over it. Someone said that to me today over a particular situation as I was telling them, well, this has happened and that's happened. And they just finally looked at me and they go, oh, you know what, Scottie? I'm just over it. I'm just over it. You handle it. I'm just over it. Well, maybe I wasn't over it, right? But we all face emotions. So let's deal with this first. Emotions are not the problem, because we are put on this planet as creation, our creator, the universe, God, whatever your spectrum or perspective is on why we are here. Mankind, humankind is here, man and woman. We are here and we are emotional beings. That's why you can hear a certain song on the radio and it takes you right back to where you were, right? If Kool and the Gang can sing Celebrate Good Times, and you can go right back and woo, you know, celebrate. Or a sad song. Someone said the other day, why is it that when I look at my playlist on my song, all the songs make me sad? It's because we're emotional people. We get angry, we get upset, we get happy, we feel depressed. All of those things tie in to emotions. Many times how we feel is exactly how we are. You might be happy one moment, so how you feeling? Man, I'm feeling pretty good. And then you get some bad news and that makes you feel bad. How you feeling now? I'm not feeling so good. Notice your feelings, your emotions tend to take you wherever your emotions are driving. So emotions are not the problem because everybody has them. I also want to say a word here about women and men. I've heard for years, and maybe you have as well, that people have said women are more emotional than men. I've heard people say that. I've heard people say women shouldn't be in leadership positions. And when the question was asked, why not? Well, because women are too emotional. And they rule the world and their decisions all by their emotions. So therefore, women should not be in leadership position because they're too emotional. Let me just tell you something. Over the last few years, I myself challenged that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Scottie the trainer knows quite a few men that are emotional wrecks. They can't make decisions because their emotions are out of control. On the other hand, Scottie the trainer has met many women in many capacities that were very level-headed, had their feet on the ground, and were able to separate emotions from the decision that was at hand. Now, maybe later they went and cried about it or wrestled with it, but when the time came and the rubber hit the road, they were able to make decisions. So I don't think it's a male and a female thing, a man and a woman thing. I think that this is a person thing on an individual level. How do we handle our emotions? Now, emotions, again, are not the problem. It's all about how we handle our emotions and how our emotions come into play. Let me show you a couple of things to show you what I mean. All right, take a look at this picture. So if the ocean represents our emotions, take a look at our swimmer here, right? This guy at the moment is overwhelmed by his emotions. Whether that means that he's sad, he's depressed, whatever he's going through right now, he's overwhelmed by it. And when you get overwhelmed by an emotion, look at what happens. You don't notice what's around you. Now look, I don't know what in the world that is. I don't know if that's a dolphin. I don't know if that's a shark. I know this. I don't want to be there with that swimming behind me, even if it is Flipper. Let me just tell you that. I don't want to be in that position. So whenever our emotions tend to take over our life, here's what happens. We get overwhelmed with it, and we don't know what's going on around us. We don't see the help that's near us. We don't see the dangers that are near us. So when we get overwhelmed in a moment by our emotions, which is very easy to do, and we all do it, we tend to get tunnel vision and we miss out on what it is that's nearby, and we can make the wrong decision. So let's look at the second thing that I want to point out to you. Now, take a look at this. Here we go. Same ocean, emotions, but yet this cruise line, on that boat are people. But these people are not overwhelmed by the ocean because they found a vehicle that uses the ocean to their advantage. There are things that you and I can do and we can work on that will work as a vehicle to use our emotions for our benefit. Notice that a ship is not made to drive on land. It's not made to fly in the air. It's made to cruise. That's why they call them cruises, to cruise on the ocean. There are things in our life that we can do that instead of beating ourselves up because we say, man, I'm too emotional, I cry too much, I get upset too much, I get depressed too much. Instead of beating ourselves up like the world wants us to because we have emotions, there are tools and techniques that we can learn, use, and do that will allow us to use our emotions to carry us through life from one place to the other, from point A to point B, from failure to success. So that's my goal over the next few Tuesdays. When you join me, we're going to be talking about encountering emotions, things that we can do to help us stop being so overwhelmed and start using them as a way to be transported. And eventually, we might even fly over those emotions and make it to heights that we never thought were possible when goals and dreams and visions become reality. I'm Scottie the Trainer. Thanks for joining me for Scottie the Trainer Tuesdays, and that's how I see it.